Hello, hello. All right. So, Leos, welcome back, Leos. Let's get into this. I just did a pre-shuffle for you guys, and you ended up with Sheila and a gig. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but this card represents boundaries. So we may have a Leo who is either encouraged to, create a boundary, because when you create a boundary and only let things towards you and into your world that actually benefit you, and things that you want, it also creates that space where you keep out the stuff that would just kind of drag you down, and so therefore it gives you like more freedom, because you know where the boundaries are, other people know where the boundaries are, and it just creates the relationships, I'll say, of respect and understanding. So this is like even about keeping boundaries in place where you don't let your free time, your precious peace be stolen away by becoming vexed over somebody who trespassed or something. It's really about protect one's peace of mind, protect one's space, whether that's internally or whether that's externally or wherever that space may be created. It is for one's own peace, though, and respecting and comprehending that, you know, every person is allowed to have their boundaries of where their comfort zone is and their wants and, things that they don't want, and they're allowed to have those choices. Now, Sheila in a gig is kind of like a little crone figure that is sometimes seen, particularly like carved into places where moss is growing, particularly around in like England, the UK. She's oftentimes seen as this like I say, this little mischievous crone who is lifting up her skirts kind of playfully and displaying the downstairs business. But she is a part of this concept of like also not being ashamed. This is like it is about gateways, gateways to life, but being unashamed of again where the boundaries are, where the gateways are. Sheila in a gig is said to protect gates, literally, also widows, lots of different avenues of life. So again, we talk about boundaries, which brings us around to protection, which brings us around to gateways, but also the sense of like, just because you want to have a boundary doesn't mean you have to be ashamed of it, and being okay, like really expressing yourself, because this is about boundaries, gates, and freedom ultimately. So that's how we begin this, which I think is really awesome. So about the lengthy explanation on that, but obviously it sets the tone for our whole story. We have a King of Swords. This Leo could be putting up a boundary. Maybe they do not want to hear what a King of Swords has to say. This could be a lover, an ex. It could be somebody who wants to talk to Leo. Seven of Swords sideways. If this person has lied to Leo in the past, it doesn't matter if now they want to speak truth. It's like, oh, well, maybe I wasn't truthful once upon a time. This might be that the Leo says, I don't want to hear from Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I know already that, my belief in something has been shaken. Temperance in the reverse, Sagittarius energy. It really feels to me like this is our Leo saying, I don't want. No, you may not grab my ear. No, you may not connect to me. No, you may not tell me things. No, you may not. You lied to me before. So if it doesn't bring me peace, I don't let it in. We have a Page of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Ooh. There's something here about, okay, they clearly want to say something to Leo. Now, they may want to come in and say, but Leo, you're not right about something. I'm not a player. And Leo might be saying, I found out that you were. And they're like, no, I'm not. This definitely feels like Leo said, I put two and two together, and guess what? It still equals four. And they're, I don't know. I think Leo's pretty immovable on what their assumption is about a situation. Let me ask King of Swords, what is it that you're trying to or want to say? Because Leo thinks that you're a liar. Hanged Man, Six of Wands sideways. They want to talk about big delays. They want to talk about their fear in coming forward, or their lack of like confidence. If this is what they want to say, is like I delayed a bunch of stuff because I had lack of confidence. Leo still, I don't know. Leo, why do you think that this person is lying? Because I still feel like Leo doesn't want to hear it. Why do you feel like this person is lying? 9 of Pentacles. Leo is just kind of saying, I'm not talking about this. I am with my tangerine scarf around my neck, and I'm listening to my guides, my hawk, my Leo's guide could be a hawk or a bear or a snail, by the way. The snails could represent like take it slow, but Leo's walking right toward the snail. The bear represents wisdom. The hawk is that messenger. I don't know. With this 9 of Pentacles, Leo says, I'm finally feeling good. I'm feeling good. I don't need to hear anything. I'm finally whole. 10 of Pentacles. And Leo is still in this red skirt saying, I want to go connect to somebody else. Now, we do have these alligators or crocodiles. One of my favorite Egyptian deities is Sobek, the crocodile god. He's very heavily associated with like protection and fertility. But, you know, obviously there's lots and lots of crocodiles in the Nile. And there's stories about how Sobek's sweat eventually like filled the Nile River. And because when the Nile rises and, you know, jumps its banks, that's associated with a time of great fertility for the land as well. So it's a positive thing. So I'm just mentioning all that because I feel like Leo is very determined that the path they're on now is going to take them into the arms of somebody they can rely on, a place that can be fertile. It's like Leo says, no, I'm walking alone until I meet somebody that I feel is, you know, powerful and someone that you even hear. Leo wants to be protected. They want to be protected. I think that's an interesting thing. This feels like Leo does not want anybody else who makes him feel like if you lie to me or if you're not there for me, then I'm not protected. Or worse, I feel like I have to protect myself from you. We've got bad dynamics between these two. This is definitely like Leo does not trust this person to be on their side, or Leo feels like they have to protect themselves from this person. Wheel of Fortune. It looks like Leo might be making the right choices for themselves because this is a new positive opportunity coming in for Leo. We've got the serpent coming down from the side. This is year of the snake. Leo might have done some pretty profound work on themselves all the way back since year of the tiger. You know, we had year of the tiger and then into year of the dragon, and now we're in year of the snake. So this could have been like a 2-year process in the making. And now Leo's ready to have some good turns of fortune. So they seem to not want to hear from somebody. Was that potential? Was a King of Swords thinking, I'm going to reach out to Leo? And Leo's like shutting it down. Oh, yeah, they were. We have a 3 of Pentacles. They've been thinking about it for a while. I'm going to reach out to Leo. They might have been talking about Leo to their friends. They might have been, you know, telling other people, I'm going to get back with Leo. It's going to be okay. Yeah, 3 of Wands. They've been planning this somewhere between 3 days to 3 months. This is somebody Leo had history with. This is not some unknown. This is somebody that Leo, let me ask, what was the connection between Leo and this person? 4 of Swords. Leo just says, it's somebody I had to take a lot of time to heal from. And it was slow healing because we got a little sloth baby taking a nap here. I'd spent a lot of time healing my heart from this. That's why they can't come back in. Can we go back to him, the King of Swords, for just a moment and say, we know that he said, well, I want to talk to Leo about like the delays and how I just didn't feel good enough. I mean, obviously it doesn't really look like that's enough of an explanation, but Leo doesn't seem to want this person back in their life. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. We got the Empress. See, I kind of think what they're saying is, I mean, Leo was amazing, and I just thought there was no way I could be with Leo, so I didn't even move toward Leo. So this is like the reverse explanation of I abandoned Leo, but they're saying, no, I just didn't move toward Leo because Leo was so amazing. I didn't come forward because I didn't feel good enough. Leo was too amazing. But from Leo's perspective, I had to heal for a really long time from somebody that wasn't honest with me. You see how the two different characters see things so differently. What would you want to tell Leo? I mean, I don't think you're going to get the chance to, because Leo's not letting you come near them. Queen of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Remember, they're a King of Swords, and what they would like to tell Leo is that, Leo is the one for them. The King and Queen of Swords, we're a perfectly matched pair. I wish I had given you that place in my life. This is an offer. They want to tell Leo that they see Leo as their person. Leo doesn't want it. From what I can tell, Leo doesn't want it. Leo, do you have anything at all that you want to hear from this person, or are you really done? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is, it's emotional offers, it's love. But the Eight of Cups, this is like, I just want to walk away. I love my life now. By the way, I always look at this as the story of the Selkies. So in mythology, Selkies are part woman, part seal. And, the Selkie lives her life mostly as a seal, but if she chooses to come up on land, she can shed her seal skin and just appear as a human female, and she can live on land if she wishes, but she always tends to want to return to the sea and slip back into her seal skin and live out her days there. And the only reason I mention this is because while we have Leo saying, you know what, I don't wish them ill, but I want to escape and slip into my seal skin and run away from them and go back to the sea. I want to meet somebody else. I want to stay away from them. With the Eight of Cups, and I think this is Leo saying, I can be calmer and have, you see the yin yang here. I have a better life when they're not in my world, because when I was around them, they left me hurting so bad for so long. That's the real reason Leo doesn't want to let this person in, because they healed finally without this King of Swords. Basically, the King of Swords left them alone so long after hurting them so deeply that Leo healed, and now they don't want to hear from the King of Swords anymore. Leo's not angry. Leo is like, vaya con Dios, go with God, go your way. But for me, my life is better without having to think about dealing with you again. That's just the harsh reality, because in this storyline, Leo got left high and dry while they were like, oh, I just couldn't, Leo, you were too awesome. That's not really an explanation that Leo wants to hear or needs to hear, from everything I can see again and again. So may I ask, what does Leo have next, right? This backdrop is, I know it's wild, but it's Starry Night. So it's kind of like, very artistic, but and we'll get to some dreamscape stories next after this series this week. But we also have, this sailing ship. And so right now it's kind of like, what direction is a Leo headed? Let's take a look. We see Leo's not going toward them anymore, and they don't want to let that person back in. We got the Three of Swords. I don't think Leo's headed for another heartbreak. I think that, no, Leo is saying, that's the one thing I know I'll never do again. I'll never put myself back in a position where I'm with somebody who could leave me like that, or leave me heartbroken like that. It's not possible. I'm all about my future, and I'm wise to put up boundaries with people that will leave you heartbroken. And now I move forward and I look toward my future. I can see now why we got that first card about boundaries for this Leo. Four of Cups, very much about healing, very much about, choosing. Eight of Wands. It could be that Leo has a sense of, I'll never again put myself into a situation where I give myself rose-colored glasses when it comes to love. I'll always stay kind of middle of the road. I'll stay on the fence about love unless somebody is really putting in effort to be there with me. I'm not going to assume, oh, they're not with me, but I'm sure they love me. Someday they'll come back once they get their, once they're no longer intimidated or something. I think Leo is saying, I'll never do that again. I won't put my heart into something and give myself any illusions. Instead, I'll let people's actions speak to me. And the man or woman who comes directly toward me without any fol-de-rol, who thinks I'm great and actually shows up in my life instead of making me feel like I'm nobody, even though supposedly this King of Swords says, oh, I was so amazing, and that's why they couldn't move toward me. See, that's not computing for this Leo in this story. I'm not saying that Leo is right about this. I'm just saying what we can see is that Leo says it doesn't compute. So I don't want to deal with them anymore. Leo's never going to believe this King of Swords story from what I can tell. It's like they lie. They lie all day. I'll always know that they lied to me. I don't think Leo even believes, no matter what that king would say about why they stayed away, I don't think Leo would believe it deep down, because Leo's in this mindset now of believe what people actually do. Their silence, if they can stay silent and leave you high and dry, Leo now says, well, that's what they did. You don't stay away from somebody because you're just so intimidated and then you leave me high and dry. No, the person that I want to be with, the kind of person that I want, is going to come right at me. They're going to be straightforward. They're not going to dip out and leave me wondering what the hell happened and ghost me. No way. So I don't give my whole heart to somebody and get into the illusion of love. I watch what somebody does. And I think that that's why Leo is just so, like, they're not going to go down the, kind of like the mind-bending road of what they went through with that King of Swords ever again. They're opening up a new chapter of love with someone new. Leo, who do you end up with, honey? You seem to end up with 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. Leo could end up with someone who could be bald, could have facial hair, could be extremely intelligent. There's somebody, though, who's going to want to work with Leo. There's somebody who, it doesn't mean their life is all perfectly mapped out. They may really want to like build with Leo. They may have had their own struggles in life. I mean, who hasn't, right? But there's somebody who knows the value of actually collaborating and, choosing a partner and being there for them instead of kind of like abandoning or something, which is what it seems like happened in the past. Universe, do we have a message just about that King of Swords that Leo is no longer allowing into their world? The Lovers. Let me get one more because that can be like a choice. The 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm sorry to say it because it sounds harsh or it sounds unkind, but this actually says, I think Leo is, at least in this story, please remember these are fictional stories about fictional characters, right? I am not a psychic. I am a storyteller. But it says the reason Leo's not choosing this person is because they really do believe that this person chose somebody other than them, maybe somebody easier, somebody that they were less intimidated by, but that was their ticket out of Leo's life for good. And I think the universe is saying that if they could choose somebody other than Leo at any point in time, even because they were like, oh, but I'm so scared, and that's why I picked someone who was easier to be with than Leo, it kind of says Leo's making the right choice in saying, well, then that's it. That's why you're not my person. If you can leave me high and dry and go pick somebody else that's easier for you to be around, that you're less intimidated by, no thanks. I mean, I'm sorry, I know it sounds really blunt, but I don't see Leo going back to a person like that. I see Leo only moving forward. Can I get one card for this upcoming relationship with Leo? Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Leo has got so much more love on the horizon. This new person is going to be somebody that Leo can talk to for hours and hours. It's going to be somebody that thinks Leo is the cat's meow. It's going to be somebody who wants to know who Leo is, know their mind, know their heart, know what makes him tick. Somebody who's going to love how Leo has, a lot to offer, and they in turn have just as much to offer. They would never leave Leo out in the cold. They will bring Leo toward the warmth, toward the fire. Leo will never be alone. They will be with a person who really has their back. That to me is amazing. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. Thanks for giving it a